A lot of men feel like women have a problem going 50-50 on the bills. They say it make me a roommate. That's not the case. I don't think modern women have a problem going 50-50 on the bill. They have a problem with going 50-50 on the bills, but they don't get 50% of the say. 50% of now you cooking for her, you cleaning for her, you taking the kids 50% of the time. The problem is when you agree to get into this 50-50 relationship when it comes to financially, that's all you consider. That's what a lot of modern women have a problem with. You go ghost when it's time for me to get 50-50 in other things. You acting like you too much of a man to pick up a mop, to load the dishwasher, to help with the homework. But yet you ain't too much of a man to accept the half of a rent payment that I give you to our mortgage. That's the problem that a lot of modern women are facing today. He's going to say, well, I mow the grass and I clean the gutters, things that happen once a week. But I tell you, the diapers need changing every day.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle Gunya. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss a post. Today we're diving into a really interesting topic, going 50-50 in relationships and how that compares to traditional gender roles versus modern day expectations. This conversation is important because it really affects how we view our relationships, our roles, and what we expect from our partners. So without further ado, let's get into it.
As a woman, you're still basically wanting to go 50-50. Why is that? I think part of that is because it's ingrained in us to not need someone. It's also ingrained in us to be independent. It's ingrained in us to be self-sufficient on every level, and to always prove a point of I'm not trying to use you. So I'm always trying to show up too, but that's because we're constantly told if somebody's constantly giving to us, you gonna come across you a gold digger. You asking to pay for dinner right now, she a gold digger, she ain't about to use my money. It's dinner. It's $55. You feel me? So I think a lot of that is this foundation of what we've been taught we have to show up as.
So I wanted to share my commentary for the previous clip. Growing up, I believed it wasn't right to accept anything from a man because I felt that it might give off the wrong impression, like I owed something in return. This mindset was deeply ingrained in me, something my father taught me as a way to protect myself and to maintain my independence. But over time, I realized that by thinking this way, I was selling myself short. I was so focused on not appearing dependent or vulnerable that I didn't allow myself to receive genuine kindness or support. It took a while for me to understand that accepting help or a gift doesn't diminish my self worth or independence. It's about balance, trust, and recognizing that it's okay to let someone care for you without strings being attached.
He want to go 50-50 with you because someone else has gained his interest.
In God's image, it is a man's responsibility to be a sole provider to his household. Now, if you want to pay a couple of the bills, that's fine, but he should be pulling most of the weight. Men are supposed to provide. If you're in a relationship with a man and you're paying most of the bills, if you and him go out, you're paying the tab on the dinner, like he's trained you to pay most of the bills and you're exhausted, it means part of his money is going to his side chick. And if you're foolish enough to pay all the bills while he's in between jobs, he's going to use your money, take money out your joint bank account and go wine and dine his side chick. Peep game. That 50-50 shit. If 100% ain't going into y'all household, half of it's going to another woman. I warned y'all.
Now, in regards to the previous video, I don't 100% agree with her sentiments because I believe that there are men out there who haven't had an example of what a provider is, or they just do not want to bear the burden of providing for a whole household or another individual. So this is why there are a lot of men out there that are okay with asking a woman to go 50-50 with them. But I did want to provide the scripture that I believe she was referencing. So 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8 reads, Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. This verse underscores the importance of a man providing for his family as a fundamental duty. Now, for those who are playing house and just shacking up, I do not believe that this verse applies to you because, of course, that does not align with the Word of God. I believe that this scripture is strictly for husbands, and I have a scripture to back it up as well. So Ephesians chapter 5, verses 25 through 29 reads, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. In this same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated their own body, but they feed and care for their body, just as Christ does the church." These are just a few scriptures that speak to a man's role as a provider. What are your thoughts on this? Even if you aren't religious or believe in the Bible, what are your thoughts on the previous videos or my commentary? Please feel free to share your thoughts down below. Do you think that these traditional expectations still hold true today? Or have they evolved with more modern relationships? I'd love to hear your perspective, so share your thoughts in the comment section.
So, I saw a video today on TikTok of this young man, African American, saying how he wants to go to Africa to find a wife. And he said all this after watching Tyler, our beautiful sister from South Africa. And he's like, you know what? That's it. We just need to go to Africa to find wives. Audacity. Anyway, me being African, I was raised in Africa and I was also raised in the United States. So I have experience from both continents, okay? And let me tell you something. If you are an American man who thinks that going outside of the United States is where you will find a good woman, a good wife, because American women ask for too much. The ladies out here, man, they're just materialistic. Let me tell you something. It is worse. It is 1,000 times worse than what you think back home in Africa. At least for the country that I was raised in and the culture that I was raised in. Because here's the thing. African women, African young girls, we are raised to literally know that the man is the provider. In fact, a lot of African women don't even go to work. Their men are the ones who go to work and just bring the money home for the wife to budget. And if you think the women here in America are asking for too much, in fact, go to Africa. No, go get married. Because the way African young girls are raised, we are raised with so much knowledge about family, friendship, how to deal with lives. So when families in Africa see that their daughters have gone through so much learning and they have become knowledgeable of life and marriage and all those things, they know the value of their daughters. And they say, you know what? Any man cannot come and marry our daughter for free. He has to pay a dowry. And that's why majority of African cultures, before a man goes to take the daughter to marry a woman, he has to pay the family a dowry, an appreciation. And dowry can go from money to cows and goats to even building the girl's family a house. Yes, and it's all to show appreciation to the family of the girl that thank you so much for raising such a beautiful and wonderful woman who's gonna be the mother of my kids. So, the system works differently. The United States, after living here for almost 10 years, I've realized that here, men just take for free. And I know this might be triggering and or insulting some people, but it's the truth. Men in the United States are used to taking things for free, especially from women. They expect, well, I'm just gonna go date her, have sex with her here and there and use her, and then we'll just be in a relationship. It does not work like that in Africa. It is worse. You cannot take someone's daughter for free like that. You have to impress her and the family, most importantly. And in some cultures, like my own, if you have not proven yourself as a man that you have the resources to take care of someone's daughter, guess what? Even the family has the right to take you to court, to police, and say, we brought this man, he wants to take our daughter for free. Or if you've already taken the daughter without paying the family a dowry, they can say he stole our daughter from us without any appreciation. And guess who is gonna win the case? The family of the girl. So to any American man or any man worldwide who wants to marry a woman in Africa, use your common sense. You have to be very, very strong in your masculinity to know that I do not expect my wife to work if she doesn't want to. She can or she cannot. My position as the man in her life will not change whether she works or not. My position is to provide for her. So my brother, you want to go to Africa to find a wife because they're much more nicer, let me tell you, they come with the most costly, how do I say this? And this is not like a selling your daughter type of thing. No, the families are not exchanging their children for money and possessions. No, it's simply the man giving to the girl's family in appreciation of receiving a wife. He who finds a wife finds a what? A good thing. Yes. So if you're an American man, because that's all I've seen, and you're used to taking things for free, don't go to Africa. Don't. You will be hunted down like a criminal for stealing someone's daughter. No sense.
Now, this previous video had many amazing points, and I definitely want to discuss them. Leave your comments down below in the comment section, of course. Now, it's interesting because when you look at other countries and cultures, there are definitely different standards and expectations. In many places, men are still seen as primary providers without question. But it seems in America, there's a growing trend where men feel differently about this role. So I'm curious to know what you all think. Are these shifting expectations specific to American culture, or do you see it happening elsewhere too? Let's talk about it down in the comments section below. Here's my personal take on this topic. I believe that men are meant to be the financial providers, while women are called to submit to their husbands, nurture their children, and create a peaceful home environment. That being said, I also think that roles like cleaning and cooking can be interchangeable. Now, does this mean that women shouldn't have a career or a job? Not at all. Every family is different, and in today's society, many households can't function on just one income. However, I strongly believe that you shouldn't consider having children unless you're in a position to provide for them financially. It's about making sure that you can support the family structure that you want to create. So what about you? Do you prefer going 50-50 in a relationship, or do you think one partner should take on a bigger share of the responsibilities? I'm curious, what are your reasons for either side? And would you go 50-50, or do you feel strongly about keeping roles more traditional? Let me know your thoughts, and let's get into
A
the
woman
videos.
isn't supposed to bring anything to the table, at least not from the perspective of traditional history or nature, and certainly not in the same way that a man does. The table represents structure, and a man who wishes to be the expression of the masculine energy should represent the entire structure. The feminine energy flows through the structure and empowers it. This is why there's a saying, give a woman a house and she'll make it a home, because the value that she's supposed to bring is that she multiplies what the masculine gives her, which is also why people say the man brings home the bacon and the woman cooks the meal. As a man, you want to be the entire table so that you can be the full structure for your family and share it with a woman who's committed to gifting it with the feminine energy.
Let me know if I'm being petty, but if I were to ever be in a relationship where we're going 50-50, everything would have to be 50-50. Like, to the point where I'm not even getting pregnant. There's no way for it to be 50-50 if I'm carrying a child. We would have to get a surrogate, and then we would split the payment for the surrogate down the middle, and that would be 50-50. I'm not washing no dishes, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not cooking. We're going to hire somebody to do that, and that's going to get split down the middle. I'm going to have my own room, because if I'm paying rent, I need my own space. Yeah, it just would. I know that it wouldn't work because a man would think that I was being petty. But to me, if you want to have a new age relationship where we don't follow gender roles and all this other stuff, then we're going to have a new age relationship. But men like to pick and choose. Like, they want to back up off of the masculine position or whatever, and they want to be more, you know, they want to receive more, and they want things to be equal. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But in their mind, equal is like, oh, we split the rent and the bills, but you as the woman still do all the woman stuff in the house, which is all of the domestic labor, having children, raising the children, all of their shit. And for me, that would never be a go. The only way for a 50-50 relationship to actually be 50-50 is to do it the way that I described it. Otherwise, it's going to be the woman that's going to give more. Every time, it's always going to be the woman that gives more. A man cannot get pregnant. A man cannot carry a baby. So how would it ever be 50-50? If the man, like, we can't swap bodies and, okay, you carry this baby, I carry the next baby. No, we're going to have a surrogate. We're going to have a surrogate. I'm going to have my own room. We're going to have a cleaner and a cooker that's going to be split in half. And then we'll be copacetic. I feel like that would alleviate so much stress. But I know a lot of men would not go for it. It'll be like, oh, you're being petty, blah, blah, blah. 'Cause no, I'm not being petty. You want to have a new aged, you know what I'm saying, modern, no gender role following relationship. I feel like that's the only way to do it. That's the only way it'll be fair to the woman, in my opinion. What do y'all think?
So I came across this video a couple weeks ago and I thought it would be perfect for this video. So I'm going to insert it, allow y'all to see and hear what the lady's saying. And then I'm going to share my comment that I commented on the post. And many women agreed with me, and of course people may disagree. But if you agree with me, let me know. And if you agree with what this lady is saying, let me know. So let's get into the video. I'm going to show you guys and then we're going to get into
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to do? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of
Have you
all,
done that?
I do it every day.
fellas, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to be a woman.
I just
No,
let
you
you
don't
talk.
want to
I
be
just
a
let you talk.
woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you. So all this, oh, I cook and I clean and yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an
saying.
oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
So this is a comment that I made under the previous video. I agree with her 10,000%, not the delivery. And as a happily married woman and mother, I can't see myself working the same hours as my husband and then coming home and being expected to cook, clean, and care for children. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it should be done that way, while he gets to relax just because he's a man. God designed the man to lead, protect, and provide, and he designed the woman to be submissive to her husband, to nurture and teach her children. As a woman, I can happily fulfill that role if a man is a sole provider. If my husband is bringing home the money, he can get the 3 hot meals a day. His children will always be taken care of, and his home will be at peace. If we're both clocking in and out, then he needs to split the household labor, and we can work together to create a peaceful and functioning environment for our family. Now, do y'all agree or disagree with my sentiments or the ladies in the video? Or do you agree with the man in the video?
I don't mind going 50-50 with no man. But a man got to understand, as long as you got me going 50-50 and I'm a mother, please do not expect 100% woman or 100% submission from me. I don't have time. When I get off work, I have to pour into my children. So therefore, no, we might not eat a home cooked meal every day. This house might not be cleaned every day. No, I might not be able to keep up with the grocery shopping, the organizing, the household product shopping. We may run out of toilet tissue because I had to work a 12-hour shift yesterday and I forgot to stop and get something. But I got your half of the rent money though. Nah, baby, I can't suck no dick tonight. I'm tired. Work kicked my ass. Then I had to make sure that I got the kids situated, got them for bed, got them ready for school the next day. Now it's time for me to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning to go work again because you need half of the bill money. Please do not expect me to be 100% woman if you got me being 50% man, Sugarfoot. I ain't got no problem with it, but you might.
You want to go 50-50? Be prepared to go 50-50 on everything. I don't feel like doing the dishes. You got to do them today. I'll do them tomorrow, sugar. You gave me the option to say no.
Stay away from men who don't want you to need them. Stay away from men who want you to be so independent to where you never call on them for anything and they're actually comfortable with that and they'll never offer you anything. Stay away from men who want to be served, but they do not serve anyone. They only look for service, because these are the same men that will watch you struggle, same men who will let you be a single married woman, same men who will look at you like you are crazy for having vulnerabilities and weaknesses, because how dare you need them to be the man that God called them to be? How dare you need them to be a provider? How dare you need them to stand in the gap when you are feeling weak? How dare you? So pay attention to men who are not of service. I'm not just talking about in relationships. Look at their life. Are they looking to serve? Do they look out for their friends? Are they there for their family members? Do they have a servanthood spirit? Also, stay away from men who have a poverty mindset, because you want to know why? They will always lack. Men who don't know how to get money, but they will just get in a depressive state because they're broke. Stay away from them kind of men, because real men know how to be resourceful. Understood? Poverty is a mindset, and it's also a spiritual stronghold. And if you get yourself attached to a man who A, is not of service, B, has a poverty mindset, C, doesn't like to be needed or doesn't want anyone to need him, you're going to be right there with him, taking care of him. You're going to become the life center that he draws his resources from. I really resonate with this creator's points. I've always had a big heart and am naturally a giver, but in a past relationship, I quickly learned an important lesson. Ladies, say this with me. Never, and I mean never, be with a man who doesn't know how to give. When I met my husband, he gave so much that it actually made me uncomfortable at first because of what I told y'all my father taught me and because I wasn't used to receiving. But over time, we found a beautiful balance in our relationship where we both give and receive equally. We rely on each other for love and support. And he always wants to be the first person I call when I need anything, which I absolutely love. And of course, vice versa. I want to be the first that he calls when he needs anything. The creator emphasized not being with a man who's comfortable with you being too independent or isn't a giver. And that really struck a chord with me. It's so important to be with someone who wants to fill up your cup just as much as you fill theirs. Okay, y'all, so let's wrap this conversation up. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you're giving more than receiving? Or have you found that balance with someone who fills up your cup just as much as you fill theirs? Also, how do you feel about going 50-50 in relationships? Do you think it's important or do you prefer a different approach? I'd love to hear your experiences and thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all and pray that you spread your love down in the comment section below and share this video if it helped you or if it entertained you. So please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe and turn on your bell notifications so that you could see every time I post and so that your friends could tune in too. Thank y'all, and let's grow this channel. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?